Hi, my name is Matt Philippi, and this is a video tutorial on AWS EC2 Elastic Block Store Security, encryption for root and data volumes. In this video, I'm going to provide a hands-on tutorial on how you take unencrypted EBS volumes and turn them into encrypted volumes. You can find me on LinkedIn, Matt Philippi, CPA and Business Intelligence Architect. I also have a YouTube channel. You can go out to YouTube and search my name, and you'll find my YouTube channel there. We are going to use AWS services in this tutorial, so warning, I may not be using security and cost best practices. It's your job to learn those and understand those if you're going to use AWS. In this video, I have outlined 5 critical components for EBS encryption success, 5 things you need to know. First, you need to know that when you launch an Amazon Linux AMI, the root volume is not encrypted, so you have to go through a series of steps if you do want to use an encrypted root volume. Number 2, converting unencrypted volumes to encrypted volumes. First, you create a snapshot from an existing unencrypted volume, and then you copy that snapshot and select the Encrypt this snapshot button. 3, when you deploy encrypted volumes, it's different for a root volume versus other volumes, such as a data volume. On a root volume, you need to create a custom AMI from an EBS snapshot, and then you launch that AMI into an instance. For a data volume, you take a snapshot, and then you create a volume, and then you attach that volume to an instance or an existing AMI. 4, you need to know that when you create your AMI for your root volume, you need to use the virtual type hardware assisted virtualization. Right now, the default is paravirtualization, and it won't work. So you need to make sure that you select hardware assisted virtualization for your custom AMI. And then 5, when you create your encrypted volume, for example, we're going to do a data volume, you need to make sure that that data volume is created in the same availability zone as the instance that you are going to attach it to. 9 steps here. Quickly walk through these. We're going to create an Amazon Linux instance using the Amazon Linux AMI. We're going to create a root volume and a data volume. They're going to be unencrypted. Then we're going to create a snapshot of the root volume. We're going to create a snapshot of the data volume. Then we're going to copy the snapshot, and at that time we're going to select encrypt this snapshot. Same with the data volume here. And then here's the difference right here. So for the root volume, for this root encrypted root snapshot, we're going to create an AMI from an EBS snapshot. And then from the data encrypted snapshot, we're just going to create a volume. And then we're going to launch that AMI that we just created with the encrypted root volume. And then we will attach the encrypted data volume to that instance that we had just created using the custom AMI. Step 1, we're going to launch an EC2 instance using an Amazon Linux AMI, and in doing that we will have a unencrypted root volume, and then we will also add a data volume that will also be unencrypted. So the first thing we need to do is log in to the console. I'm going to pause it while I do that. So I'm logged into the dashboard here. So the first thing we want to do is go to Northern Virginia. So this tutorial is set up to use Northern Virginia. So make sure that you're in the US East Northern Virginia region. Okay, US East Northern Virginia. Check it out up in the upper right hand corner here. And then we will go to EC2, compute EC2, which will bring us to our EC2 dashboard. We're going to click here to launch an instance. We're going to select the Amazon Linux AMI, see HVM, hardware assisted virtualization. Select T2 Micro. Click Configure Instance Details. And then I'm actually going to select the subnet. So go ahead and select the US East 1-1A availability zone. Okay, US-East-1A. Add storage. Okay. So we have the root volume unencrypted. Remember what I said, when you launch a Amazon Linux Army, the root is not encrypted, and you need to go through steps to encrypt it. I'm going to uncheck the delete on termination here. Then I'm going to click add new volume. So we're going to add a data volume here. And then everything looks good there. Leave these unchecked here. We're not going to encrypt this data volume because we're going to walk through the same step. We're going to walk through steps on how to encrypt an unencrypted data volume. Okay, so everything looks good there. Add tags. I'm going to click add a name tag. And then for this particular instance here, I'm going to call this instance underscore us-east-1a underscore HVM for hardware assisted virtualization to remind us that, and then underscore, and then unencrypted. And then I don't want the names to be in the volumes here, so I'm going to uncheck the volumes box. Configure security group. Create a new security group. This is fine. We're not going to be SSHing into this demo. So, and then review and launch. Everything looks good there. And then click on launch. And then this doesn't matter, so I'm just going to use an existing key pair. We're not going to be using this to SSH into the machine. So just click launch instance. And then view instance. And then we'll be able to see here that this is pending. So I'll pause it while it's getting. Okay, the machine is now running. So I have this box checked right here for this instance that we just created. I'm going to go down in the description here. And then down in the description on the right hand side, you'll be able to see the root device and the block devices. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go in and name the root device or the root volume. So I'm going to click on this dev xvda, then this will pop up here, and then I'll click on the EBS ID. And then now I can go in and I can see this volume here. I'm going to click that pencil thing right there, and then it's going to allow me to name this. So type the name in there. I did volume underscore us-east-1a underscore root unencrypted. Click the check mark there and it'll give that a name. Okay, and then we can go back to instance here. Have this checked. Description. Go back down to the lower right hand corner. So we just did the XVDA, and then the data volume is dev SDB. So I'm going to click on that. Click on the EBS ID. Same thing. I'm going to name this one. Okay, so click on the pencil there. That'll come up. This one's called volume underscore US East 1A data volume unencrypted. Check the box there. Okay, now we've just named that one. So we can go back to volumes here on the left hand side, Elastic Block Store. Click on volumes, and there we can see we have both of our root volume and our data volume, both of them unencrypted in US-East-1A. Step 2, we're going to create a snapshot of the unencrypted root volume. So we just named our volumes. So we want to make sure that we're in Elastic Block Store in volumes. I'm going to click the root unencrypted. So I have volume US East root unencrypted. Go up to actions. Click create a snapshot. Okay, I'm going to call this snapshot root unencrypted, snapshot root unencrypted, and then hit the create button. Snapshot creation started, so I'll click close here, and then I'm going to go over to Elastic Block Store, and then I will click on snapshots, and then you can see that snapshot being created right now. So okay, so maybe 10-20 seconds and the snapshot was completed. So if I make this a little wider here, you'll be able to see that this is The name of this is snapshot underscore root unencrypted. We're going to go back and let's see here, step 3. We're going to create a snapshot for the unencrypted data volume. So go back to volumes, check the data unencrypted box, go up to actions, find create snapshot, click on create snapshot, and I will call this the same thing, snapshot data unencrypted, snapshot data unencrypted. Create. Snapshot creation started, so I'll click close. And then I will come back over here to Elastic Block Store and click on snapshots, and both of them are created. So now I have 2 snapshots, snapshot data unencrypted, snapshot root unencrypted. Step 4, we're going to copy the snapshots that we just created. So remember, we just created 2 snapshots. Now we're going to use copy snapshot, and at this point, this is when you add the encryption to that volume. So I'm going to go back here. I'm going to go to my snapshots. I'm going to select root this time, actions, copy, okay, and then this description is going to be snapshot root encrypted, and then I will say yes, encrypt it, and then here's the key management service details, and then I will click on copy. So snapshot underscore root underscore encrypted, check the box, copy, close. We can see the snapshot being created. I'll pause it. Okay, I started the timer on this, encrypting the root snapshots. We're about 40 seconds in. I'll pause it again. Okay, that's done. It took about 1 minute and 45 seconds to create that encrypted snapshot. So I'm going to actually go over here, make sure that I name this one, snapshot root encrypted. And click the checkbox here. And you can see I have this checked right here, the blue, and then you can see down in the lower right hand corner, it is this volume is, or this snapshot is encrypted. Step 5, we're going to do another copy snapshot, except this time with the unencrypted data snapshot. So I'm going to go back over here to snapshots. I'm going to make check and uncheck. So I just want the snapshot data unencrypted checked. I'm going to go up to actions, copy, okay, and then this description is going to be snapshot data encrypted. Check the box here, encrypt this snapshot, don't change anything down here. Here's the KMS details, and we're going to click copy. Okay, snapshot copy operation has been initiated, so close. Okay, I'm going to start the timer on this one, and then I'll pause it while it's creating the snapshot. Okay, that was done a lot quicker, 35 seconds, because that was a data volume with basically nothing on it. So 35 seconds to complete that. So I'm going to put a name on this one too. Snapshot data encrypted. Okay, and there. Now we have a data encrypted and a root encrypted, and you can see that over here. It says encrypted over here and encrypted over here with the KMS key IDs. Step 6, we're going to create an image from an EBS snapshot for the root volume, and here's where we differ on how we do a root volume versus a data volume. The root volume, we're going to take that encrypted snapshot and create an AMI and then launch that AMI, whereas the encrypted data snapshot, we're going to actually create a volume, a data volume, and then we will attach that volume after the instance is deployed. So in this step, we're going to create the image from the encrypted root snapshot. So I'm going to go back over here. I'm going to be Elastic Block Store, snapshots still. I'm going to go find my encrypted root snapshot. So snapshot root encrypted. I'll go up to actions. And then I'm going to create image. And then the name for this is going to be, I'll call it my AMI HVM root encrypted. Okay. My AMI HVM root encrypted. Okay. And then here's really important, virtualization type. The default is paravirtualization. That won't work later on. So we need to change this to hardware assisted virtualization. Everything else stays the same. Keep the root here. I'm going to unclick delete on termination. And then remember, this is encrypted now. So we're creating a custom AMI with an encrypted root volume, whereas you can't do that with the Amazon Linux AMIs. Then we're going to add the new, nope, we're not going to actually add a volume. Sorry, my mistake. We'll just stick with the root volume here only. And then we'll click create. Close. And now I'm going to go over to images, AMIs. And then I'm going to pause it. I'll pause it, and then I'm going to bring up the clock actually. I'll pause and okay, so that took about 1:15 seconds to create that AMI. So I'll pause that there, get rid of that. And then I'm actually going to change the name. This is the name of the AMI, but I'll actually put the name in again here. I just like to be consistent. My AMI HVM root encrypted. Just to remind us what's going on in there. Step 7, we're going to create a data volume from our encrypted data snapshot. Remember, I said in 4 and 5 we created a root snapshot that was encrypted and a data snapshot that was encrypted. But for the root snapshot, we created an image or an AMI. But for the data snapshot, we're going to actually create a data volume. And what's important to remember here is we need to make sure that we put this data volume in the correct availability zone that we think that we're going to attach that volume to for an instance. So in this case, we haven't launched an instance, but when we do, we're going to make sure that we launch it into US East-1A. So when I create this data volume, I'm going to create it in US-East-1A. So go back to my dashboard here. I'm going to go to Elastic Block Store, snapshots. I'm going to go find my encrypted data snapshot, and then I'm going to make sure that this box is checked. So just snapshot data encrypted, then go up to actions, and then we're going to create volume. So that's different than what we did before. Before we created an image for the encrypted root snapshot. This time we're going to create a volume for the encrypted data snapshot. So create volume. Okay. All right, so now availability zone. It's defaulting to US-East-1A, which is great. Everything in here looks okay. And I'm going to create volume. Volume request succeeded. Close. Okay. Now I'm going to go back to my volumes here. And we can see one here that doesn't have a name on it. Well, we just created that. And so I'm going to create the name for that. I'm going to call this one volume underscore US-East-1A underscore data encrypted. I guess I have encrypted spelled wrong there, not that it matters. I'm going to click the checkbox here, and then we can see for this particular volume it is encrypted, and we should be ready to go. Step 8, we are going to launch an instance using the custom AMI that we just created that has an encrypted root volume. So go back to my EC2 dashboard here. I'm going to go to Images, AMI, and click on AMI. And then I'm going to make sure that this AMI that I just created is checked. I'm going to go to Actions. I'm going to go to Launch, T2 Micro, and next, Configure Instance Details. Okay, important part here. We want to make sure that we're launching into the correct availability zone because we just created a data volume that is in East US-East-1A. So we want to make sure that this instance is in US East-1A. So US East-1A. Okay, and then click Add Storage. Okay, we're not going to add anything here. We'll just keep this as is. We're going to later attach the data volume, the encrypted data volume. You can see this root is now encrypted. Add tags. I'm going to add a name tag. I'm going to call this, oh, that's not what I wanted to call it. I want to call it instance. Let's see here. I don't want that. Okay, let's call it instance underscore US East-1A HVM encrypted. I don't want the name of the volume to be that. So I'll uncheck that. Configure security groups. Okay, that's fine. Review and launch. Click launch. Okay, this doesn't matter, so just create a key pair or use an existing one. We're not going to be using it. And then click launch instance. Go to view instance. And then I'll pause it while it's getting set up. Okay, I don't know, less than 30 seconds, maybe 20 seconds. So I'm going to go back over here. So I'm in my instances dashboard. I'm going to check this one, instance US East-1A HVM, and this one is encrypted. So we're in the description here, and if we go down the lower right hand corner, I can go to root device, click on the root device, click on the EBS volume, and then we can see that this volume, the root volume, is encrypted. And then we're going to want to name this volume. So I'll click on the pencil there. I'm going to call this one volume underscore US-East-1A root encrypted. Check the box. And then I'm going to go over to Elastic Block Store, go to volumes, and then now you can see that a volume for an encrypted root volume. Step 9, all that's left is to attach our encrypted data volume. So we just left it here. We had just launched that AMI and then changed the name on this volume to make sure it says root encrypted. And you can see we have 3 that are in use, which means they're attached to an instance. And then we have 1 available here. So we're going to click on the one that is available. Volume US East-1A data encrypted. Blue is checked. I'm going to go to Actions. I'm going to attach volume, and then I can check in here, and it's going to give me some names here. So the one that we obviously want is the instance US East-1A encrypted instance. I'm going to attach, and then now we can see that that is now in use. So we started with an unencrypted instance right here with 2 unencrypted volumes, and then we did a snapshot, and then we created an AMI, and then an unencrypted data volume, then we launched the AMI, and then we attached that encrypted data volume. So 2 instances, 1 fully encrypted, 1 with no encryption. The volumes are right here, and you can see that they're in use. So that creates a tutorial on EBS unencrypted volumes and converting them to encrypted volumes. So remember the 5 things critical for EBS encryption success. 1, Amazon Linux AMI root volumes are unencrypted by default. So what you need to do is launch an Amazon Linux AMI with an unencrypted root volume, then follow these steps. Create the snapshot, copy the snapshot with encryption, create an image, and then launch that custom AMI with the root volume. 2, converting unencrypted volumes to encrypted volumes. You need to create a snapshot from an existing unencrypted volume and then copy that snapshot. So, right, we have an unencrypted volume here. We create a snapshot out of that unencrypted volume, and then we copy that snapshot and add the encryption. 3, deploying unencrypted volumes, root volume versus data volumes. So when we copy the snapshots and then convert them into encrypted snapshots, the next steps are different depending on if it's a root volume or a data volume. So with the root volume, we've created that encrypted snapshot right here. And then we create a custom AMI, and then we launch that custom AMI, which launches with the encrypted root volume. Whereas in the data snapshot, we copy and encrypt that snapshot. Then we create a snapshot from that encrypted volume, and then we will attach the volume to that instance. Custom AMI virtualization type, remember the default is paravirtualization, so you need to make sure that you use hardware assisted virtualization. Right? So when you create the AMI here, create image from EBS snapshot, make sure that you select hardware assisted virtualization, and then finally availability zone. When you create that final data encrypted volume, you need to select an availability zone. Make sure that you select the same availability zone as the instance you think that it's going to be attached to. So the instance and the volume availability zones need to match. Otherwise, you can't attach the volume. Feel free to connect with me or reach out to me on LinkedIn, Matt Philippi, CPA and Business Intelligence. If you send a connection request, just tell me how you found me and kind of what your interests and background are, and I'll reply with the same. Also, you can find me out on YouTube, where you can subscribe to my channel, where I have lots of different videos around Tableau, AWS, Azure, Chaos Sumo. So thank you for watching.